So the book I've just finished reading today is The Way of Men by Jack Donovan. Really a great book as we look to, he tries to answer the question in this book, what is masculinity? He defines it as masculinity is about being a man within a group of men. A central theme throughout the whole book is the idea of the gang. So gangs exist where fathers don't, for instance. So men collect together as a group of men to overcome a lack of maybe a fatherly figure. The book constantly refers to the bodies, the human being, especially men's desire for risk, for conflict, to take challenges, to conquer, to soar, to compete. Competition is inherent in what it means to be a man, and that's what the author tries to point out throughout this book. He notes that high testosterone men take more risks and seek more thrills. Men are more interested in competing for status, and when they win, it actually triggers a dopamine high and more testosterone within them. It talks about practical virtues of men and notes that the word virtue comes from vir, which is the Latin word for man. And in Latin, it comes from virtus. Early Romans, virtues meant that you demonstrated value and honor on the battlefield, that you were a soldier who stayed true to the cause and fought for the Roman Empire. So the author breaks down practical virtues of men into four categories, namely strength, courage, mastery, and honor. He defines strength in the strictest physical sense of the word as the muscular ability to exert pressure. Strength is the ability to exert one's will over oneself, over nature and other people. So all of these virtues embrace both the mental and the physical, and strength is certainly the same there. Willpower of mind is also willpower in the physical sense. The author notes that it's very important for men to have mastery and courage, but mastery in particular because he says that throughout most of the book he compares men to dogs and chimpanzees. But in sport, in war, and in life, there is another manly virtue that is universal and specifically human because it requires human intellect. And that is because men are not only concerned with what's immediately in front of them, but men, especially high testosterone men, are concerned with the world. They want to find out about the world, they want to discover the world, and they want to conquer the world. So mastery is a man's desire and ability to cultivate and demonstrate proficiency and expertise and techniques that will allow him to stand out from the pack. Honor is inherent throughout the world, but earning and keeping a reputation as a good man overlaps with honor because men evaluate other men on the way they are evaluated by other men, and women come to men through the way they are judged by other men. It's what the author is trying to make clear. And through that, he says that there is a difference between being a good man and being good at being a man. And the author notes that being a good man can often result in you being a slave. In not necessarily in the literal sense, but in the metaphorical sense. So being good at being a man is always going to mean that you have certain specific skills that are important and that can be utilized in a survival situation, in a survival scenario. Because ultimately, men should be on the periphery of society. That's the way we've grown up as hunter-gatherers, on the periphery. Even throughout civilization, we've been conquering. Even today, he talks about the intellectualized masculinity, economic aggression of gang activity in today's commercial world. We're still on the periphery, looking to conquer, to go out there to explore not only the world, but maybe other planets as well. That's inherent in our drive to go and explore, to question. This book talks about the way of men. You can derive a lot of the Socratic philosophy of questioning everything. And he compares this to the Confucian philosophy of obedience, of being a good man. Rather, you want to be good at being a man, which means questioning, challenging, striving to get better, exerting your authority on whatever that may be. A great point that I like towards the end as well is that the goal of civilization seems to be to eliminate work and risk. But the world has changed more than we have. So the world has evolved at a much greater pace than our own bodies and minds. We're still stuck thousands of years ago. We have a mammalian, a reptilian brain within us as well. So our bodies crave work, sex, risk, conflict, danger. That's what we need. That's what makes us feel alive. So it's a great book, and it says that if you want to follow the way of men, if you want to return to honor and virtue, you need to start a gang. Not a gang in the sense that you're going to go and smash loads of windows and cause a lot of trouble, but you're going to stand for something, and you're going to fight for what you believe in, whatever that may be, even if society might be against it. If you believe in it, that it is just and right and virtuous, that is what you should do, and that is the way of the gang. A really interesting and intriguing book, The Way of Men by Jack Donovan.